There's a place on Earth sunlight never reached. Where pressure crushes steel like wet paper, the temperature sits near freezing, and the dark is so total that the animals there must make their own light to keep from vanishing. That place isn't another world, it's under your feet. A few miles off the beach, where families sunbathe, the largest black desert on Earth begins. The ocean covers 70% of the planet, and over 95% of it has never been seen. We've mapped Mars in more detail than the floor of our own sea. Think about that. We put robots on another planet, but still don't know what breathes, hunts, and devours right here in the blue basement of the world. And the question that chills is simple. What is down there? On January 23, 1960, two men tried to find out. Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh sealed themselves in a steel sphere called the Triste and started to sink. The descent took almost 5 hours. Every yard, the hull cracked under the water. Outside, blue turned gray. Gray turned black, and black turned into something neither man had a word for. They were going where nothing should survive. When they stopped, the gauge read over 35,000 feet. They had reached the deepest point on the planet, and still, in the weak beam of the lamp, something moved in the mud. Life was there, even there at the end of everything. This is the story of the deep ocean. And as you sink, each zone gets darker, stranger, and more terrifying. Welcome to the side of the world nobody shows you. The trip starting now has cruel rules. Every 33 feet you sink, the pressure climbs by one more entire atmosphere pressing on your body. Light dies fast, and nature answers by building monsters. You'll meet the fish that carries a living lantern on its forehead, the predator that swallows prey bigger than itself. And at the bottom, the creature that survives a weight that would crush 600 elephants. Before we sink into the dark for good, one quick thing. I looked at this channel's numbers and found something odd. Out of every 10 people watching right now, 9 aren't subscribed. And I get it. You dive into the story and forget the rest, but that button tells me it's worth going. Further into places nobody dares show. So if this is your kind of trip, hit subscribe and come down with me, because from here it gets serious. But every descent starts in paradise. The first 650 feet are the epipelagic zone, the sunlight zone, where the sun still reaches, where algae photosynthesize, and where almost all the sea life you know exists. Turtles, dolphins, schools flashing silver, coral reefs. Beautiful, warm, familiar. And that's exactly why almost nobody notices they are floating on the edge of an abyss. This band holds the hunters the surface turned into legends. The great white, the tuna that hits 50 miles an hour, the blue whale, the largest animal that ever existed, bigger than any dinosaur. Here there's room, color, and movement, but the sunlight zone is a thin film over the top of the ocean. Picture a 100-story building of water. Everything you know fits on the first floor, because below it, the light starts to die. This is where the ocean stops being beautiful and starts getting strange. Past 650 feet, warm blue becomes an eternal dusk, a gray-blue gloom, where day never breaks and night never ends. Scientists gave this band a perfect name, the Twilight Zone, and everything living in it was shaped by hunger and darkness. The mesopelagic zone runs from 650 to 300 feet. Only 1% of sunlight is left, and deeper, not even that. The water is cold, food is rare, and most creatures never see the surface. To survive, they made a dark pact with the blackness. If there is no light, they become the light. Over 90% of animals here make their own glow. the kingdom of bioluminescence. And every night, when the sun sets above, the largest movement of life on the planet happens. Billions of twilight creatures rise to hunt in the dark, and before dawn dive back into the black. It's called vertical migration, and involves so many animals that the first sonars mistook the swarm for a false sea floor, a living city that rises and falls every single day. The most numerous animal in that crowd is small, ugly, and nearly invisible: the bristlemouth. It fits in your palm, its mouth full of needle teeth, and it is by far the most abundant vertebrate on the planet. For every human alive, over 100,000 of them swim in the dark right now. You've never seen one, and still they outnumber every bird, rat, and human combined. At the end of everything, there is still life. But not everyone here is small and harmless. Nearby patrols a 1-foot nightmare, the viperfish. Its fangs are so long they don't fit inside its mouth, curving back until they nearly reach its eyes. To strike, it throws its jaw open 90 degrees and impale prey like a steel fork. Along its body, rows of lights lure the curious close. Whoever comes near vanishes into that cage of teeth. The light is gone. Now it's their world. To avoid becoming a meal, many fish here mastered a brilliant survival trick. The hatchet fish has a body flattened. Like a silver blade, rows of lights on its belly. It tunes those lights to the exact faint glow from above, erasing its own shadow against the brightness. A predator looking up simply doesn't see it because it became light. In the twilight, being invisible is the difference between living and being eaten. Listen to that silence. It has weight. And in one band of that gloom, where there's almost no oxygen, floats a relic that confused science for a century. The vampire squid. Its scientific name literally means vampire squid from hell. A blood-colored body. Enormous eyes, a dark membrane linking its arms like a cloak. But the name lies. It hunts nobody. It hangs in dead water, collecting crumbs that sink. And when attacked, it turns its cloak over itself and fires glowing mucus, an escape trick that looks like witchcraft. Deeper down, hunger carves shapes even more absurd. The gulper eel is almost entirely mouth. Its skull opens like a monstrous umbrella, an elastic pouch, able to swallow prey far bigger than its own body. When it isn't hunting, it looks like a thin, harmless ribbon. But let a victim pass, and that mouth inflates in a blink, turning a scrawny animal into a living sack that devours everything. And then there's a creature so bizarre that scientists themselves struggled to believe it. The barrel-eye fish has a literally transparent head. A dome of clear fluid covers its skull, and through it you watch the animal's brain working. Its green eyes sit inside, aimed up, looking through its own forehead to spot shadows of prey against the faint light above. A fish that sees the world from inside its own skull, looking out through its head. Every yard down, the sea squeezes harder. It has bitten submarine cables and even humans. A pocket assassin that wounds giants and vanishes into the dark. And here, around 300 feet, the last sunlight goes out forever. You enter the bathyal zone, the midnight zone. From here, there is no day, no season, no color coming from the sky. The only light for the next thousands of feet is the light the monsters switch on themselves. The water sits a few degrees above freezing, and the pressure would already crush an ordinary submarine like a soda can. And if you, a human being, were out here with no protection, there would be no fight. At 300 feet, the air in your lungs compresses to 1/100th of its size. Your chest caves before any thought forms. It isn't a squeeze that builds. It's the whole ocean closing its fist at once, which is why every creature you meet from here down is, in practice, an engineering miracle nature took millions of years to prove. This isn't another planet. It's ours. In these frozen waters patrols the oldest animal still breathing on Earth. The Greenland shark swims in slow motion through the Arctic deep. Nearly blind, its flesh loaded with toxin. Scientists dated one female, and the result looked like an error. Almost 400 years old. There are sharks alive today that swam in the dark before Napoleon was born. It crosses centuries the way we cross an afternoon. This is the largest continuous habitat. On the planet, and also the emptiest. An infinite black where food almost never arrives. Nearly everything eaten here falls from above. Scraps, bodies, scales. What scientists call marine snow, a slow and macabre blizzard of dead matter sinking for days. Finding live food here is rare. Finding a mate is nearly impossible. And out of that brutal scarcity comes the most famous nightmare of the deep, the anglerfish. It is the face of the deep sea, a giant mouth of translucent teeth, a soft black body that vanishes into the dark, and above the head, a rod ending in a glowing lure. Inside it, live millions of luminous bacteria the female uses to draw the curious. The small fish sees the light, swims to it thinking it found food, and becomes food. The dark here has never known the sun. The female swallows prey the size of her own body because her stomach stretches and her jaw unhinges. In absolute black, she chases nothing. She waits, motionless, swinging her lamp of flesh in the void. A deadly advertisement lit in the middle of nowhere. Days can pass, weeks, with nothing appearing. Patience is life or death. And it was that same extreme loneliness that created the most disturbing part of the anglerfish story. Something just lit up down there. Everything you've seen so far was female. The male is a completely different creature. Tiny, sometimes 60 times smaller, no lure, no hunting teeth, nearly blind. Born with one purpose: find a female before he starves. And when he finds her, he bites. Sinks his teeth into her skin and never lets go. Their skin fuses, their blood mixes, and the male's body dissolves until he's nothing but a sack of sperm hanging off her forever. A female can carry several of these melted males at once, like trophies stuck to her flesh. One of the most extreme matings nature ever invented. And it only makes sense where losing a partner means never finding another. In the deep sea, love isn't romance. It's fusion, dependency, and death. And the anglerfish is only one resident of this city without light. Beside it, far larger creatures move through the dark. The bottom is still far away. Not everything down here is monstrous. Drifting gently, almost ghost-like. Is the Dumbo octopus. Named for two enormous fins like elephant ears, flapping slowly to move it through freezing water. The deepest living octopus of all, filmed at nearly 23,000 feet. It has no ink sac, because in absolute dark, there is nobody to hide from. Delicate, silent, gliding across another planet. And sometimes, before the research robot's cameras, an apparition passes that makes scientists hold their breath. The phantom jelly. Its body is a dark bell over 3 feet wide, and from it descend 4 ribbon arms that pass 33 feet, rippling like torn sheets in the black. In over 100 years of exploration, it has been seen a handful of times. Almost nothing is known. It appears, glides, and returns to nothing. And the longest apparition of all isn't one animal. In 2020, an expedition off Australia filmed a giant siphonophore spiraling in the dark. A living chain estimated at over 150 feet longer than a blue whale, possibly the longest animal ever recorded. And here's the detail that breaks your head. A siphonophore isn't one creature. It's a colony of thousands of clones, each with a job, hunting as one endless body. But of all the residents of the Midnight Zone, one was legend before it was science. For centuries, sailors swore they'd seen a monster of tentacles able to drag whole ships under. They called it the Kraken. People laughed at them until the bodies started washing up. Because in the black, freezing waters of the far south, there really does exist the largest invertebrate Earth has ever produced. And almost nobody alive has ever seen it move in the deep. Down here, whoever glows eats the colossal squid. can pass half a ton and exceed 30 feet. Its arms carry rotating, razor hooks built to snag flesh and never let go. And it has the largest eyes of any animal that ever existed, each the size of a dinner plate, nearly a foot across. Giant spheres built to catch the faintest flicker of light in total black. Fewer than a dozen intact specimens have ever been recovered by science. And one single creature dares hunt it in the dark. The sperm whale, the largest toothed whale alive, dives over 500 feet, holding its breath to hunt that mountain of tentacles. Nobody ever filmed the fight. Too deep, but the bodies of sperm whales tell the story. Their skin comes marked with rings of scars left by the squid's serrated suckers, and their stomachs hold thousands of indigestible beaks. In absolute dark, two titans fight, and nobody ever sees it. Feel the pressure. It doesn't forgive. And if that image of two titans fighting in the black with no witness gave you chills the same way it gave me chills making this documentary, drop a like below. It's quick, and it's what pushes this story to more people who'd want this hidden world. Now breathe, because the descent continues and the next floor is deeper. Nobody has ever seen this before. Size doesn't always decide who eats whom. In the same dark swims a black swallower, a small fish with a frightening talent. It devours prey twice its length and 10 times its weight, stretching its stomach like a balloon until the victim fits inside. Sometimes it swallows so much that the prey rots inside and the gas formed pushes it to the surface, killed by its own greed. In the deep sea, eating too much is also a way to die. To grasp how deep we've already gone, think of the most famous shipwreck in history. The Titanic rests at 500 feet in a freezing black that took 73 years to find. We already passed it. The ship that seemed to be at the end of the world is above your head right now. And the real bottom is still miles below your feet. The descent has barely passed halfway. Deeper, around 13,000 feet, the ocean crosses another invisible border. The midnight zone ends and the abyssal zone begins. The name comes from a Greek word meaning bottomless, the endless pit. The water sits permanently near freezing. Pressure passes 400 atmospheres, the weight of dozens of airplanes pressed onto every inch of your body. And still, incredibly, life refuses to stop. The abyss. Keeps everything we let fall. The abyssal zone is a dark, immense plain. That forms most of the ocean floor. A desert of frozen mud stretching thousands of miles without a crack of light. And here nature plays a strange trick. Far from the surface, in cold and hunger, many animals grow, far larger than their shallow water relatives. Scientists call it abyssal gigantism. In the abyss, being enormous is a way to survive. The most chilling example is the giant isopod. Picture the pill bug that curls up in your palm. Now picture it the size of a cat, armored shell, 7 pairs of legs, compound eyes that catch the faintest beam. It walks the abyssal mud, eating bodies that fall from above. Fish, squid, even whole whales. And it can go years, literally years, without eating, just waiting for the next corpse to drop from the sky. And on that plane, lives may be the most patient animal alive. The tripod fish. 3 elongated fins work like stilts, and it spends its life standing on them, motionless in the mud, facing the current, waiting for the water to bring food to its mouth. It doesn't chase, doesn't hunt, doesn't spend energy. It just waits, still as forgotten furniture on the seafloor. Hours, days, however long. In the abyss, whoever moves least lives longest. And now and then, over that dead plain, swims a creature from a fever dream. A sea cucumber that flies. Its body translucent reddish pink, and through the skin you watch its gut working. It lifts off the mud, beating a membrane. Like a dress, it floats a few yards above the bottom to escape predators and lands further on. Researchers nicknamed it the headless chicken monster. Science sometimes gives up on being serious. Up above its daytime, down here it never was. And when a giant dies up there, the abyss gets a rare feast. The body of a whale sinks for miles and slams into the floor, creating what scientists call a whale fall. That single corpse feeds an entire city of creatures for decades. First sharks and isopods for the flesh, then bone-eating worms, bacteria, and thousands of animals that exist nowhere else. One death up there becomes 30 years of life down here. And in that dead desert, there are oases of fire. Hydrothermal vents. Cracks that spit boiling water, loaded with chemicals from inside the planet. Around them, without a drop of sunlight, life blooms. Giant tube worms with red plumes, fields of mussels, blind shrimp by the thousands. An entire ecosystem that doesn't need the sun, fed only by the heat and chemistry of the earth itself. The abyss has a voice too. In 1997, hydrophones spread across the Pacific caught a sound so powerful it was heard by sensors 3,000 miles apart. A deep, organic rumble, unlike any known whale. They named it the bloop. For years, the world fed the same fantasy. What creature has a body big enough to make that? The official answer came later and points to colossal ice cracking in Antarctica. But to this day, the ocean is full of sounds nobody explained. If you made it this far, you've gone deeper than almost any human ever has. But the ocean isn't finished. Below the abyssal plain, the floor tears open. Colossal rifts cut the planet's crust and plunge downward, far past 20,000 feet. These are the ocean trenches. And what's inside them carries the name of the home of the dead itself. The Hadal Zone, named after Hades, god of the underworld. This creature should not exist, but it does. The Hadal Zone runs from 20,000 to nearly 36,000 feet and exists only inside those narrow black rifts. The largest is the Mariana Trench, a gash in the crust deeper than Everest is tall. Drop the highest mountain on Earth into it, and the summit would still sit a mile below the surface, swallowed by darkness forever. And that rift isn't a hole. It's a living wound of the planet. The Mariana Trench exists because the Pacific floor is being swallowed there, pushed under its neighbor, sinking back into the molten interior. It's where the planet recycles its own shell. The sea floor you're over is being devoured by the world, inches a year. A process millions of years old that manufactures the most violent earthquakes that exist. The sea still hides what's down here. Pressure stops being a number and becomes a monster. At the trench floor, the water reaches over 1,000 times surface pressure, 8 tons on every square inch, like balancing a full plane on one fingertip. Any ordinary submarine would be crushed instantly. A human without protection would be flattened before realizing they were dying. The teams who study this have a tradition that says it all. Before sinking their robots, they tie ordinary styrofoam party cups to the outside. When the robot returns hours later, the cups come back, shrunk to the size of a thimble, crushed perfectly by the pressure. Miniature souvenirs of the planet's basement. It's the cheapest way to understand the abyss. What goes down whole comes back crushed, and it's inside that press that life decided to live. Even at the most hostile point on Earth, life found a way. The ruler of these depths isn't a monster full of teeth. It's a pale little fish, fragile-looking, almost gelatinous, the size of a hand. The Mariana snailfish has been filmed over 26,000 feet down, deeper than any other fish ever seen in history, and its secret defies everything logic tells you to expect. Keep coming down with me, we're close. At that depth, the pressure should crush the cells of any animal, bending the body's own proteins until they stop working. The snailfish fills its body with a molecule that acts like chemical armor from inside, stopping the water from destroying it. This delicate thing you could snap with 2 fingers takes, without flinching, the weight of 16 elephants stacked on it. And none of it bothers it. Sharing that abyss are armored swarming predators, the amphipods. Pale, transparent shrimp that devour anything dead sinking to the end of the world. When scientists caught some at the bottom of the trench, they found something that chilled the world. Inside those stomachs, in the most distant place on the planet, there was plastic. Fragments of our civilization had reached where no human ever set foot. They named the species with what is almost an accusation. Eurythanes plasticus, discovered. At the deepest, most isolated point on Earth, already contaminated by our pollution before it had a name. The most frightening proof of all. There is no place left, however hidden or deep, the human hand hasn't reached. Not even at the end of the world. It was to that end of the world that Pickard and Walsh went, after 5 hours sinking. Through the black, the sphere touched the floor of the trench, kicking up silt. Outside, 35,000 feet of black water pressed the hull from every side, and the 2 men did what no human had done. They looked through the small window, straight into the deepest place that exists on the planet. That glow is an invitation and a trap. And what they saw changed science forever. Even where pressure should forbid anything from existing, the lamp revealed life. Shapes moved in the mud, where scientists swore there was only a dead, crushed void. Life insisted. On breathing, they only stayed 20 minutes. The sphere wouldn't take more. But those 20 minutes proved that nothing, absolutely nothing, is too deep, too cold, or too dark for life. Half a century after those two pioneers, one man repeated the feat alone. Filmmaker James Cameron descended in 2012, compressed inside a tiny capsule to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. He spent hours down there filming the deepest place on the planet in high definition for the first time, and afterward described what he felt with one word: desolation. An absolute alien emptiness, without color and without end, as far from human life as the surface of the moon. Everything ends. Life doesn't. And the most frightening part is realizing how little we still know. Over 80% of the ocean remains unmapped and unexplored. Every time a new vehicle goes down into the trenches, it returns with species science had never seen. Creatures with no name, no history. While you breathe right now, there are. Life forms moving in the dark of the deep that no human eye has ever seen, and maybe never will. Welcome to the midnight that never ends. Think about the scale of that, all of human history. Every city, war, empire, and civilization happened on the thin-lit crust at the top of the ocean and on dry land. Below us, the entire time is this black, frozen, silent universe, taking up most of all the living space on the planet. Outer space isn't the most alien place there is. The strangest planet humanity knows is right here under the waterline, and we've barely begun to touch it. The deep ocean is the greatest lesson in humility Earth can offer. It reminds us we're tiny visitors in a world that exists almost entirely without us, under a weight that would erase us in a blink. Life doesn't need sun or comfort to flourish. It only needs a crack, a crumb falling from above, one stubborn molecule. Where we see the end, nature sees just another place to start. And the abyss is only one face of this impossible planet. The deepest, the darkest, the most crushing of all. But out there is still the highest, the coldest, and the deadliest. Each holding stories that defy everything you think you know about the world you live in. This channel exists to take you to every one of them. Welcome to the side of the world nobody shows you. If going to the bottom of the ocean with us made you see the planet differently, you understood exactly why this place exists. We bleed to make each documentary with real research and real footage. The people who subscribe make it possible. So subscribe, hit the bell, come to the extremes of Earth. The places almost nobody dares show. And if you're already part of this community, thank you. It's for you that we go down. Because while there's an unexplored abyss and a story hidden in the dark, a side of the world waits to be revealed, and we'll be there to show it.